Hello. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. I hope everybody's doing good. I am getting started. Hopefully, the video will work really well today. Yesterday, we had to get our router or modem box replaced because the internet went out. And luckily, they came really quick, which I was very happy about. And then today, it's really windy, and our power, we kept losing power. So I was hoping that everything would work out, and apparently it is now fixed. So if I, for some chance, I do lose you, give me a couple minutes and I'll jump right back on. So this week I'm going to play with the warm welcome stamp set and matching dies, and they are also called warm welcome. And I'm going to do my simple Saturday, today's stepped up Sunday, and also I'm going to do Thursday night with this same stamp set. I'm going to focus on one stamp set a week now, so you can see how versatile, how versatile each stamp set is. You don't necessarily have to get it because you want to make one card. You can make several different varieties out of one stamp set. And today, all we're going to use is this sweet little cat, the little heart, and the Miss You stamp. Okay, that's it. So we're going to create a small card today. This is 5 by 7, and it's scored at 3.5. So this is a note card. I figured we'd try something a little different. We always need note cards. And then I'm going to put on a layer of basic white, and I will be creating a blog post with all the dimensions. So this one, we are just going to add some glue and add it to the front of the card. Hi, Fran. Aw, we miss you too, Dew. It's just been 2 days of craziness. I don't know what happened. I think somebody was trying to tell me something. All right, then I'm going to put a layer of basic black. So we're just using black and white for this card with a touch of real red. All right, so pretty quick and easy, right? Then I'm going to add an additional layer of basic white. But before we do anything, I'm going to put a strip of basic black and, of course, a strip of basic white. Now I'm just going to put a little bit of glue, hoping that we don't see it through the front. And we're just going to layer this. Hopefully I'm on the camera, and I am. So we're just going to layer this to make a strip. Let's make sure it's on their center. So this is a nice, simple little card when you need something in a hurry, or if you need something that you want to mass produce. This is a great card because it's easy. All we're using is cardstock. Okay, so let's let that dry for a second. I also have a little square of basic black, and this is 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. And then we have a basic white 1 5/8 by 1 5/8. Okay, and that'll be our card. But first, what I want to do is, on the front of this, I want to grab my memento, And you can see the little stamp "Miss You" is very tiny. So we're just going to ink that up. I'm going to test stamp it first because I have not used it yet. Okay, that looks okay. So let's ink it up, and I'm just going to, whoops, let's see, I'm going to just stamp that again. I don't like how the U looks. All right, let's just ink it up. We're just going to stamp this right down here in the corner. Now that this is dry, I think I can just line this up on the cutter across the top, down the side, and we can trim off that little piece on the bottom. I'll just check it one more time. If you hear yelling in the background, it's probably because my husband is yelling at the dog. She's crazy. And I have to say, we went to school. She did awesome. So she must be a house devil. Hi, Margaret. A house devil and a street angel. All right, so now we're going to take this little basic white square, and I'm going to grab the memento again, and we're going to ink up this cute little cat. And we are going to stamp him right in the center. And we'll leave him white. We'll step him up in the next, on the next card. And we're going to grab that little red heart and some real red ink. And let's just add some hearts to this little one. Just quick and easy, adding little hearts. And then we'll pull our square back in. This time I am going to use some seal. And I'll just put it on the back of this. And we're just going to layer this right on this black piece. All right, let's grab our top layer, add some seal, and we're just going to layer this right down on the front of the card. Grab our little kitty cat, and we'll add some dimensionals. So has anybody gotten snow? We have not even a flurry. And we're going to just add this here. Like I said, it's been very, very windy today. So I guess there must have been something loose. Unfortunately, no. All right, then we're going to layer the inside with 2 pieces of basic white. And like I said, I will have the dimensions on my blog later this afternoon, so you don't have to worry. All right, so for the inside layer, all I'm going to do is grab that memento again, ink up this little cat, stick him right in the corner, and layer this together. And then we can add this to the inside of the card. This time I can use some glue because we won't see this glue where it's double layered now. Oh, it just shifted. And there you go. Quick and easy little card to tell someone that you miss them. And then for the envelopes, we can just pull those hearts that, just like we stamped, right onto the back of the envelope, and then add that little cat to the front. Right? Perfect. Just to tell someone you miss them. Now, let's step it up a little bit. We're going to take the same measurements. So the base is 7 by 5, scored at 3.5. We're going to do all the same things again. We're going to layer on a basic white layer, and then let's layer on a basic black layer. Okay? We're just going to step this up. Oh, let me just make sure this is on here straight. And then we could put this on right on the front of the card. Alright, so it looks the same. I do have... Yeah, you just have to... I think of all my stuff too so far in advance. Then I took that same basic white layer that we had, and I ran it through the cut and emboss machine with the gingham embossing folder. But this time what we're going to do, you know, I like to cheat. I am going to take the black and white gingham ribbon, and we're just going to cut. Oh, where's my scissors? Here they are. We're just going to cut a length of ribbon. Grab those glue dots. And we're going to add a glue dot. And they're probably not going to be that sticky today because it is a little cool in here today. I have a sweatshirt on. Usually I don't have a sweatshirt on. Alright. So we're just going to lay this down just about the same way we did on the other one. Make sure it's sticking. And I want to make sure it's on here straight. Alright, so we just put our strip of gingham ribbon. Now this layer I can add glue because it's embossed. So I'm just going to put glue right around. And we're going to layer this right onto the front of the card. Alright, so just a little different just by embossing. Now for the cat, I took one of the layering squares, which was scalloped, and again this one is 1 3/4, and then I cut another little basic white square 1 5/8, and we are going to, I'm not going to use my silicone mat because what I have on here actually is a placemat and it's cushioned. So we're going to grab that little cat again. And let's ink them up. Whoops. I'm just going to, I got too much ink on his ear there. Alright, let's try again. That's better. Nope, it's still like that. Hold on. Let me just run him. Let me just clean him. There might be a little piece of lint on his ear that's catching. All right. So let's add him right here to the center. Quick and easy, right? Now let's just add a little color to him. I'm going to grab some light flirty flamingo to the inside of his ears. And then I'm going to use some light smoky slate. And let's just color him in a little bit. We can go right over him. So I'm just going to color him in real quick. And his little tail. Now that was the light smoky slate. Now I'm just going to grab the dark smoky slate. Let's just add a little darkness by his legs. So it looks like his legs are in front of him. A little bit on his tail. And we're just going to come right under his face. I'm just going to go back to the light. I'm just going to go right over the edge of that line. Just a quick and easy color, and he's so tiny that you can just about see. But I just added a little bit of color. Can't even really tell it. I added Flirty Flamingo. And we're just going to grab that heart again. And let's just put one here. One here. One here. Now you can see I missed that little point on the heart, and I'm just going to move this down a little bit. So I'm just going to grab my Stampin' Write marker, and I'm just going to fill that point right in. No worries if you miss. Just grab those Stampin' Write markers. You can even grab your seal. I'm working with it. Your Stampin' Blends. Or any other marker that you have that, you know, is similar in color. Alright, we're going to layer this down. Just like that. Alright, let's see. I'm looking to see if I have any black embellishments in here. If not, we'll go with, oh, here we go. Here's some black. Alright. Then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to still use the Miss You, but I grabbed out of the art gallery dies, these little label dies, and I am going to grab the Miss You stamp, and we're going to ink it up. I'm going to put it towards, let's put it in the middle. So now our Miss You is on a little label. And then I also cut out the large one. And what I want to do is add a bit of glue. And I am going to add this on so it is offset and we can see the black. I call these like little postage stamp labels. And I'm just going to add it on here. So now we can see the black past the white. Okay. Let that dry a little bit. And I'm actually gonna cut off this end. And let's come back in, and you can see I have a little spot of real red. I must have had it on my finger. Well, that's not bad. I got it off. There we go. And that's a sand eraser if anybody is interested. So let's add our dimensionals. There's always a way to fix our little mistakes, right? And let's grab our little cat. Let's add him right there to the front. And I'm going to grab the Miss You. And I'm going to grab some tiny dimensionals, or the mini dimensionals. Let's add 2 to the back of this. And we're going to just tuck this under. Let's go half here. And then we'll I grabbed some of these classic matte dots. Let's put one here. And I'll put, whoops. I'm going to add them to these corners so it looks like it is attached to the card with little brads. And then let's pull in our ribbon again. Oh, Emma, I forgot a fork. Oh well, we'll have to, remind me, and then we're just gonna, we'll tie a regular ribbon, but remind me this week and I'll do the fork ribbon again. So we're just gonna make sure that's tight. Now I want the ribbon to be a little smaller because the card is small. So once I get it off my finger, if you pull on the loops, you can make the loop smaller, and then pull on the tail to even it out. And then we have our cute little ribbon. And we're just going to angle cut our tails. And if we need to, we can always trim it. Let's grab a glue dot. And then add our ribbon. So, oh no, I thought you were the one. I'm sorry. The sand eraser, I got it on Amazon, I believe. All right, so here, I'm going to move this up again. So here is our simple card, which is very adorable. And then here is our stepped up card. All we did was, instead of a strip, we used a ribbon and added a bow, a few embellishments. We used a label for the Miss You. And for the inside, I would do exactly the same thing. Maybe put a few hearts. And I do have the inside right here. So I think what I do is grab that little cat. And I won't color him in. But we have our little cat for the inside. Let's grab some real red. And let's just put a heart in each corner. some seal. And layer it up. And then again, you can do the same thing to the little envelope. All right, so there you have it. 2 little cards. Simple and stepped up. And like I said, nothing really that much different. We just used a few little extra things. So ladies, thanks for joining me today. I hope you have a really great rest of your Sunday. And I shall see you this week. I'll be posting probably another card using this set, and then we'll use it on Thursday night. Yep, no sense in going crazy. Just this would be a perfect card, Christmas card, if you were doing, a lot of them. Happy Thanksgiving, Margaret. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day and enjoy all your family. So, have a great week, or have a great rest of the day, and I will see everybody tomorrow. I'll be posting the winners for my Thursday night. So, see you soon. Bye-bye.